Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So happy you're here. Today I'm working on something a little different. I was inspired by this really fun sentiment image from Lisa DeCoste over at Scribbles Designs Challenge, and this is free. I will link that below so you can go pick this up. It is so cute, and when I first saw it, I said to Lisa, I have to have that because I have an idea. So she sent it to me so that I could work on it and get it done, and you'll see my project over there if you stop by. Let me show you how I set this up, because as all or most of my projects began, this one started out in Cricut Design Space. So let me show you how I started this project. I brought in the sentiment, which is right here. If friends were flowers, I would pick you. And it looks so cute just on a piece of cardstock, and just back it with a color and put it on your card blank and you're ready to go. I mean, it's really cute. But I decided I wanted to do something a little different with it. So what I did is I brought this in twice. So I have it once where I'm going to print and cut it on my card front, and then I cut the flowers, the word flowers and the word you, these letters, I cut them separately. And let me show you how I made that happen. First, I have this, and this is how it comes in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that by left clicking, duplicate, and now I have it exactly the same size. We'll just set that right here. So I'm going to start off with my card blank, which is going to be 5.5 by 4.25. So I'm going to bring in a rectangle that will fit within this size. So I come over to shapes. I'll pick up a square. I'll bring it in. I'm going to actually end up with it being about 3.8 by 5. All right. I'm going to change it to white. You can make this whatever size you like. I'm going to bring my sentiment to the front, and I'm just going to center it by selecting them both, coming to a line, hit center. They are both selected right now. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here to this right-hand column, and I'm going to hit flatten. That's already done. Okay. Now, here's the part that we need to talk about. I want the letters here that have flowers on them, I want those cut separately, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them on top and then do a little bit of stitching. So let's just kind of bring this in really big. So now you can see that right up here, they're like little stitches, like it's been stitched on. And that's what I want to do. I want to use some black thread and stitch that on top. So I need to get rid of if friends were, I would pick, because I don't need those and there's no reason to waste my paper. So let's go in and let's grab a shape. Let's grab a square. I'm going to go ahead, right click and duplicate that square. So I have a couple of them ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and just do this first. I'm going to just lay this over, select them. Then I'm going to come to slice. And I can go ahead and get rid of the slice results here. So I'm going to right click, delete, right click, delete, and now this is separate. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to copy this again, duplicate, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it one more time. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to separate the word flowers from the if friends were. All right, again, select it all, left click over here on slice. This time I'm just going to select these right here, and on my keyboard just hit delete. I also don't need this, so I can also delete that. Now, here's the flowers, and that will just, those little letters will just cut by themselves. Now, I would pick you. All right. So now I want to get these two separated. So again, I just lay the square right under the U, being careful not to pick up this little bottom part of this letter P. Hit slice. And there we are. We have just the U. So we can get rid of all of this now. Now, when we go to print and cut, this piece right here is going to print all on its own. Okay, it's going to be one piece, and I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Let's go ahead and get rid of this piece. Let's hide it. There we go. And let's go over and take a look at how this is going to work. So we go to Make It, click, and now you can see that here's the card front, and here's the word U, and here's the word flowers. Now, I can save quite a bit here just by bringing this in here, like so. So you see this is going to cut here, this will cut here, and this will cut here. So we can save quite a bit of paper now. And so now we have all of this, and in fact you could even move this into here and turn the U and bring it in here. And you can see that we have almost we have over a half a sheet of paper left that we can feed back in and print something else. So, great way to save your paper by taking these apart and not printing what you don't need. All right, so at this point, I would print then cut all of this, and then I'm ready to meet you at the craft table. So, I'll see you over there. So here we are at the craft table, and I have gone ahead and put together what I need. I have a needle, I have my black thread, I have my zig two-way glue, and I have all the little letters and my card front as well as my card blank here. I also have a piece of colored paper to put behind. I just don't seem to have it right there with me on the table. All right. I also have this little black craft mat. It's a piercing tool mat. As you can see, it's pretty well loved. It's got a lot of little holes in it. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take my zig two-way, put some glue on there, and glue the flowers on before I stitch them. That's going to make it a whole lot easier. And again, I'm using my zig two-way. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to take my needle and I'm just going to pierce some little holes through where the stitching is. These little holes are going to serve as a guide for me when I start stitching with my black thread. Now, I started with a single layer of thread, and I was sorry that I did that. I would recommend going with a double layer of thread to do this. And I'm sorry I'm a little out of focus, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not that great at this anyway. I just sort of made it up as I went along. So this is more about the idea than it is about teaching you a technique in sewing. There are lots of great videos out there, I'm sure, on YouTube about embroidery stitches and that kind of thing. I'm just doing a really quick stitch here. You do not need to knot your threads. What I did is left mine long and then put some double score tape. And that held my threads in place. Now, I've already put my little backing paper on, and now I'm showing you how I actually did stitch these. So here's a close-up. It's a little hard to see it, but I hope you can see the little threads in there. But it just makes it, just gives it a little something extra. Makes it sort of cute. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those little pieces of double score off, and I'm going to go over this pretty good with my Fabri-Tac here, and a little bit of double score tape, or rather ATG this time. And my ATG is there for the stick power. My glue is there for stick, but it's really more there so that I can move things if I don't get it on exactly where I want it. I'm backing this with a layer of cereal board just to give it a little oomph and protect that stitching. Now, what I'm showing you right here is I have a little bit of something on my front of my card. So I decided, okay, if I take my high polymer eraser and I go over that, maybe I can get that little bit of goop, whatever that is, off of the card. And it did work. So I recommend trying this because it might get you out of a bad situation like it did me. You know, I didn't want to throw this away after I did all of that work, and I really didn't want to put any embellishments on, which is what I probably would have done. I wanted it just to be sort of clean and simple with just the stitching being the important part. All right, that's going to bring this video to a close. So it kind of gives you a new idea, something new you might want to try. You can always use a pen and put in faux stitching too. That would be fun, just to give it a little bit of oomph and kind of bring out that stitching on there. I'm going to leave the links below so you can go pick up this sentiment because it is so fun. You will want it in your stash. Have a great week, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye.